Hi there, and these comments are for E. I'm just using your initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael from OTC, OnlineTOEFLCourse.com. So you got a question in your email about a possible study plan to help you reach your TOEFL goal. You also sent me an independent speaking practice test you want me to evaluate for free. And I'm going to deal with both of these things right now in this video. Okay, so before I get to the practice test you sent me, let's look at your email here. I got my needed scores in the reading and writing. So you got 23 reading, you got 23 writing. However, you say I need to get 24 in the speaking and 22 in the listening. So at this point, your speaking is 21, your listening is 13, right? You say, please, which study plan do you suggest I take? I took the test twice. The hardest part is speaking. For question one, I tried to give an answer with two reasons, with supporting details in both times, but I couldn't finish my answer. I was suggested to give three reasons with much fewer details. I found it easier because I could finish the answer, but I took a simulating test, and recently I got 21 points again. Right? So the problem here is, so you're making changes in your topic development. So you're assuming that the reason you're getting the speaking score 21 is because of the details and the development and all of that. But what about the pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary? How does that factor into your score? So you may not have corrected any of those problems. Have you thought of that? Okay, so let me think of your situation here. So you need to improve the listening and the speaking areas. And you're listening, and I don't know why you're saying the speaking is the hardest. I mean, if the speaking is the most difficult section, why is your listening score so low? I mean, it's like 8 points lower than your speaking. So I think my 3 month TOEFL course is the best fit for you. That gives you the speaking practice. I think you still need to do writing practice, even though you feel like your writing is okay. I still think you can work on that a little bit. So I would say my 3 month course, and don't be satisfied with the reading and the listening. I can help you get much higher than 23 in those areas, by the way. So I think my 3 month course is a good fit for you. You can do a lot of speaking, a lot of pronunciation practice. I have a 40 different listening practice tests that you can use. And even in the integrated writing section of my course, you'll have more listening practice there. So I think the 3 month course is my recommendation for you. All right, if you go over to OnlineTOEFLCourse.com, just scroll down, you'll see the 3 month TOEFL course option. I have the speaking, independent speaking rubrics in front of me, right? So if you're scoring 21, right, that means that a lot of what you're doing is in the 2 area here. You're between about 2.5 and 3, right? So according to this, you're thinking that you're scoring the same because of problems with details and things, but I'm thinking you have problems with unclear articulation, probably awkward tone, choppy rhythm, some problems with pacing, maybe your grammar vocabulary is limited, and you might be only expressing basic ideas with limited elaboration and support. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to listen to the whole thing one time. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, what is it about your speech, your speaking abilities that makes you score the way you are? Here we go.
I think to prepare for an exam is better to
I can already tell you delivery problems. Already, you're speaking too slowly. You're not varying your tone. You got major trouble here. I've only listened to 6 seconds of the response.
learn in a group for a few reasons. First,
Notice that for a few reasons. You think you got 45 minutes here to explain this idea when you only have 45 seconds, so you need to focus your ideas more.
because you learn more in a group than you learn by yourself. It makes you learn faster in less time. Second, it's more fun It means that you're accompanied by a group of people that make the activity more fun. And finally, it's more interesting. It means less boring. So I perceive that with these three reasons, I prefer to study in a group because it's more effective.
All right. So, like I said, you got problems in every single area of this rubric, beginning with delivery, language use, and topic development. All right, let's listen one more time.
I think to prepare for an exam is better to learn in a group for a few reasons. First, because you learn more.
Notice how you're shifting to you. What does that do? That distances yourself from the speaking task. It makes it less personal, and it doesn't specifically explain anything. So instead of saying you, start with I. Say, one time when I was working on a chemistry exam, I was having trouble understanding the most important concepts in the class. Therefore, I joined a group to see if I could understand better, and then you keep talking in that manner.
In a group than you learn by yourself. It makes you learn faster in less time.
You're not giving any examples at all. There's no elaboration on anything.
Second, it's more fun.
But second, you didn't even provide any details for your first idea. How can you move on to a second point?
It means that you're accompanied by a group of people that make the.
No, you're accompanied by. That's a language use, not companion by. You're trying to use companion, which is a noun, but the verb is accompany. You're accompanied by.
The activity more fun. And finally, it's more interesting. It means less boring. So I perceive that
It's interesting, less boring, yet you failed to support that with any specific
with these
details.
three reasons, I prefer to study in a group because it's more effective.
Okay, so what do we got? What do we got? I would score you lower than 21. I'm going to put you at 18, but I'm a little hard on my students. But then they take the TOEFL exam and they get 29 or 30 out of 30. But sometimes it's better to be really tough. Now, if you join my courses, I'm direct. I'm not going to mess around. If I think there's a problem, I'm going to let you know, right? So don't get upset with me. Some people, one of my students 2 months ago, I gave her feedback on her first practice test. She almost had a heart attack because I was so direct. But then 2 months later, she took the speaking, the TOEFL exam, and she got 28 on the speaking section. So just remember that. Okay, I think here with topic development, it says you express basic ideas with no elaboration. You didn't elaborate on anything, right? So you need to elaborate more. You have, and I think trying to bring up three reasons is a bad strategy for you because you're speaking too slowly. How can you develop three reasons when you're only speaking 80 or 90 words a minute, right? So your strategy maybe bring up one or two reasons. Just make sure you elaborate, right? You must elaborate. It doesn't say how many ideas you have to explain, but you need to elaborate on those ideas that you bring up. And you didn't do any of that. I think your grammar and vocabulary very basic. It's very limited. So you need to really study a lot with vocabulary and grammar skills. So that's why my 3-month course is going to be important for you. It's going to give you the vocabulary practice you need, the grammar practice you need. You'll get all the practice you need to improve in all those areas. Your delivery is a disaster. It's the Titanic sinking in the ocean. No matter what you do with your topic development and language use, until you improve the delivery, your TOEFL will be stuck forever. You have to speak more clearly. How do you do that? You need to make a lot of improvements in a lot of areas. I think in terms of articulation, you need to get more comfortable with the basic consonant and vowel sounds of American English first. Master those sounds. Know how to pronounce them when you see words, when you're speaking words. Know how to put the right pronunciation there. You have awkward intonation and in maybe three different ways. I think your tone, when it comes to your word stress, when you look at the primary syllable of a word, you need to make that stress syllable clearer, louder, longer, and higher pitched. The pitch part is killing your tone. Now, the second thing is you need to improve your sentence rhythm. That means stress words, words like nouns, adjectives, adverbs, or verbs. Those words receive more stress than the function words, words determiners, auxiliary verbs, and prepositions. These are unstressed words. Now, once you master sentence rhythm, then you need to focus on the overall tonal patterns of American English and get used to that. And then finally, you have to work on what's called thought groups and blending, right? You have to remember at the end of each thought group, but your thought groups are way too small right now. You're saying, "Hi, Michael, I am going to shop for some shoes, and then I will come back later today," or something. Your thought groups are just too short. You have to say, "Hey, Michael, I'm going to the store later on today. Then I'm going to come back and watch some TV with you at 6 o'clock or something." So you have to get to where you have longer thought groups. That's called pacing. You're working on that. That's going to help you speak more naturally. All right, so those are my comments. I'm going to put you at about 17 or 18 points out of 30. I think your speaking right now is fair. So that means between 2.5 and 3. Anybody at YouTube, what do you guys think? If you have any comments, you can make them right below this video. What's your assessment of the student's pronunciation, language use, and topic development?